Good morning. We're in the home office today preparing for just some things we have to handle today, including the National Football League and the draft. It really is a holiday for me and millions around the globe. And we talk a lot about what's the big ticket item this draft, and yeah, it is the quarterbacks and the men that we keep mentioning. Caleb Williams at number 1, Jaden Daniels goes at number 2, and then you have others like J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Drake May, but I also think there's something very unique for our Pittsburgh Steelers that I'll get to in a moment. Wide receivers, got to be Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State, 6'4", strong, and he can fly, and he is the best wide receiver in the draft. There are others, but he is the top choice, and many teams would like to get their hands on him. But I was watching a bunch of stuff earlier today, and I truly believe the NFL Network, ESPN, great way to plug in. CBS Sports, checking in with them last night here in the home office with some of their thoughts on their mock draft. But the thing that finally came up that I've said for the longest time, and many were agreeing with what I believe, the tight end is actually more important in today's game than the wide receiver. And let me explain why. You look at Patrick Mahomes, which it seems as though every team is trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes, and I think that's something they need to erase from their draft board because he's a once-in-a-lifetime player. But it is what it is, and that's what they're going to do. But the one thing that has made Patrick Mahomes who he is Travis Kelce, who's that hybrid, kind of a wide receiver tight end. He can really play a dual role. Rob Gronkowski was the tight end who put the tight end in the modern era on the map and helped Tom Brady get all of those championships. Well, the Steelers have the 20th pick overall, and there's talk about maybe an offensive tackle, a defensive tackle, a center. But what about this? I would be willing to trade that pick away to trade up in the draft. And because there's so many quarterbacks out there and everybody wants their next great quarterback, Brock Bowers, who is a once-in-a-lifetime tight end out of Georgia, could be sitting there for the Steelers. Now, I know you have Pat Freiermuth. I get that. But the thing about Brock Bowers, he's like that hybrid I talked about a while ago. He could play some wide receiver, that dual role, or stay at the tight end position and give you that extra wide receiver because he can stretch the field. He's a good blocker, but he's strong, he's incredibly fast, and anytime the rock gets anywhere near his fingertips, he gets the football. That would be a completely off the chessboard move for the Steelers. I'm not saying I'm the first to bring it up, but I think that's what makes this draft even more interesting. Because of it being so top-heavy with quarterbacks, there's going to be some players who are going to drop down in that first round. And if the Steelers, little wiggle room, I'd be willing to give that 20th pick and maybe a second rounder to move up to get him, because there's going to be some wide receivers before we tee it up in 2024 that are going to want to move from other teams. And when you look at the future of this football team, Russell Wilson will be the guy, and that's a great choice. But eventually, Justin Fields, and I hope they rework a deal to get him multiple years, to give him some breathing room, to let him learn the system. And remember this, he's only 25. So all of these grade A quarterbacks who are coming into the league, they're just a year or two younger than him. And he's that type of first-round quarterback, Justin Fields, that you get an opportunity to get, you got to take. We got it in a different way other than the draft, but we have him in the Steelers locker room. And just imagine Brock Bowers and Justin Fields in your offensive lineup. Now that would be something to definitely want to watch. All right, don't forget, Coons Quality Food Sports Report Saturday and Sunday morning with me on KDK, 5:15 and every half hour until 7:45 a.m. And of course, 2 full hours of the best hometown sports talk show anywhere. It's a tradition. The Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. And this week, the crew and I, Greg Dialos, Ted Arno, are going to be talking all about the NFL draft. Enjoy the draft. It's a great day to love the National Football League. There's always more sports at 93.7thefan.com.